Whoop. That's the sound of police. Whoop, whoop. We'd be leading troops in the backcountry. And
how's everybody doing tonight?
Section where you can,
I'm gonna do a little stand-up routine here for you.
You can see them
pace.
whoop, whoop.
Guys drinking tonight? You guys gonna get drunk? Like how drunk are you guys gonna get? You guys gonna get car salesman drunk? You guys know what car salesman drunk is? Car salesman drunk is when all your people in your neighborhood think that you're selling Buicks out in the backyard. Just standing out there going, Buick! 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 But you don't have a car for sale? You definitely don't want to be like presidential motorcade drunk. That's when you come out of your blackout and you realize that you've got various forms of state, local, and federal police escorting you to your current destination. You don't want to be moose drunk either, and that's moose drunk, moose drunk. That's where you wake up in Alaska walking around some town and nobody wants to bother you because they're afraid of being attacked.
What?
So my buddy says that doing stand-up comedy takes a lot of balls, a lot of guts. You gotta be real strong-willed. But he has a wife and kids, and that's way more intimidating to me. Because if I decide I don't want to do stand-up comedy tomorrow, the only person who's going to be disappointed is me. If he decides he doesn't want to be a parent tomorrow, you're going to probably find out due to an Amber Alert. So if you ever really feel down on yourself and you want to feel up, just go to a laundromat on a Tuesday afternoon, because you'll see people there who have problems way worse than yours. Like I had this one lady walk through the laundromat today, and she's trying to give directions on the phone to somebody to find out where she is. She's standing out the window. She's, an older middle-aged lady, and she kind of seems confused about where she is herself, and she's pointing out the window to the landmarks that she's describing. And she's doing all these hand motions on the phone that this person doesn't get any idea of what's happening in person, And I'm sitting here as a spectator going, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm already here. I don't know what they're getting out of this, the hand motions you're doing. Or then I had the alpha male guy come in. The alpha male guy who, as soon as you notice him, he's got to make eye contact with you right away. I'm not an alpha male, so whenever a guy does that and he's always just staring at you right away, I have to try to figure something out to do. And so he comes around the corner around the dryers, and he gives me the intense eye contact, and I give him a little wink and I blow him a kiss. It didn't work out the way I was hoping. I'm meeting him for drinks later at the Snow. But today in the laundromat, I decided to do the underwear purge. Do you know what the underwear purge is? That's where guys, they collect their socks and underwear so much until there's just so many holes in them that they're not even protecting you from anything anymore. God forbid a woman sees you wearing these underwear. Nothing screams sexy like wearing an undergarment from an extra on The Walking Dead. So, you ever drive by Pure Pleasures and recognize somebody's car, but you don't want to ask them if they were there? Because there's only 3 things really that you can buy at Pure Pleasures. You can get your gag gifts for your bachelorette parties. You can get your drug paraphernalia for your illegal substances, which tends to be the main reason why I go there. Or you can get your hardcore pornography, which I don't know if anybody actually buys that anymore because of the internet. The internet is so readily available. I can pull my phone out right now and show you something disgusting that I didn't even have to type in. It just pops up. But, it made me think, do kids these days appreciate the value of a porno mag? Like, do they understand the pain that goes along with having paper cuts on your hands along with the blisters on your genitals? Like, they don't get that. Like, when I was a kid, you'd find a box of porno in the woods, and you'd divvy it up with your friends like a bunch of prepubescent, perverse pirates breaking up your booty, and you'd all go home with your stack of magazines. The next day, you'd show up at the bus stop, and 3 out of the 4 of you would just be dog-tired, dehydrated, needing a Gatorade, and just totally blown away with what all you'd seen and done, except for that one kid who lived down the street and knew about everything before everybody else. That kid was totally fine in the situation. He knew how to prepare. But there's 3 things I'll never really understand in life. It's Sudoku, women, and the Dave Matthews Band. Like, trying to get your buddies to try to explain to you why their band is so awesome. I have this one buddy who every time we're drinking together, I'm a hair metal guy, he's into Dave Matthews Band, so he tries to explain to me why they're so good, and they're such great musicians, and they're so talented, and I get some of that, but something about Dave Matthews is just kind of a little bit rapey. Like, I don't really like it. Like, he's kind of creepy to me. Like, every one of his songs is like, open up your mouth and take it down, pretty baby. Like, I can't deal with that. Like, I'm a hair metal guy, and he caught me tapping my thumb to a Dave Matthews song once, and he never let it down because he knew that I liked that song, even though I didn't know what it was. And yeah, it put me through some hair metal hell. Every time he drinks with me, he's got to tell me how much I love the Dave Matthews Band, and I can't deal with it. But I'm a hair metal guy, so that really doesn't really do me any good with my current age demographic, but it scores me some points with the MILFs.
Creepy.
But that's all I've got for you tonight. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I believe Max is up next.
Woo! All right.
Thank you.